words retro console, what's the first console you think of?
Okay, this is a genuinely hard question. I'm very aware that I'm of an older generation TikTok-wise. Like, I'm only 23, but as far as TikTok's concerned, I might as well already be retired. But in my eyes, anything PS2, Xbox original and newer, I can't see as retro. I know they realistically are. These are 25-year-old consoles at this point, but I grew up with them, so in my mind, they're still current era, if that makes sense. Like, I could happily go back to a PS2 and still see it as a modern-ish game, you know what I mean? But I've got my answer. See, we've got stuff like the Xbox original, the Xbox 360, and the Xbox One X. Obviously, these are not retro. The Xbox original was an argument, don't get me wrong, but in my eyes, no. Now, the definite answer I've got is the PS1. This is retro hardware as far as I'm concerned. And it almost pains me to say because I know how many just genuinely game-changing games released for the PS1, but I'm aware it's getting old. It's the first console where I can sit there, put a game in and go, yeah, this feels old now. Like PS2 games, Xbox original games like The Simpsons Hit and Run, they're still modern in my eyes. Those are 100% playable in their current state. There's no need for a remaster or a re-release, as much as I'd love one. The need's not there. But here's the newest console I can honestly consider retro. The N64, easily. This is the one I grew up with. I've still got the same unit I had when I was 6 years old, playing Mario Kart 64 for the first time. And I still love it to bits. I can honestly sit back, play it, and go, yep, this is a perfectly fine experience. I'm happy for hours. Because generations often struggle to go back to old games to a degree. Like, everybody's going to go back and play the original Mario perfectly fine, but a lot of the SNES, NES era games, you're going to struggle to go back to and actually find value in. Especially when you start going back to, the Ataris. They've not aged well at all. And minus a few, subtle exceptions, mostly the arcade games that were brought forward, stuff like Space Invaders, you're going to struggle. You're going to really struggle to find games worth playing for the Atari these days. And I know it's the same for, people younger than me. They can't go back to the N64 and play games other than, one or two, Mario 64. People really struggle with Mario Kart 64. It's still my favourite Mario Kart of all time, but I know there's better ones. I'm very aware I'm looking through that through, my own personal lenses. But yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for the post, and drop us a follow.